everybody, it's me, Sadet, and I have taken over this beloved channel.
No, you didn't, you silly girl. No, you haven't at all.
Yes, I did. My fans said so.
What fans, woman? What fans you got?
The fans that I dream of, I
Ah,
think.
yeah, only in your head there. See, yeah, I'll remember that young lady said that. Yep, yeah, the little. Well, yeah, welcome everybody. This is episode 9 of actually the real episode 10 of Burgers and Fries Game Talk with a Shake. I know I messed up the numbering last time when I did the last recording, so I apologize there. But today it's just joining me is one person today.
Yeah, unfortunately, the others were busy, so.
Yeah, on my co-host.
But you all know who we are, so we could just skip the intro.
Yeah, you know her as Sadet The Hyperactive Princess from her native hometown, Canada.
Hey, I said that they already know who we are,
I
so
know.
you don't have.
I just
So
felt
we
like
could
saying.
skip the intro.
I know. I just felt like saying that. And my co-host Grim Monolith is apparently stuck at work at the moment, so he's unable to join. So it's just gonna be me and the Hyperactive Princess today here, Mrs. Giggles of the
As
group.
well as my two cats, Dexter and Peach, who are currently sleeping on the job right now.
Just got to and while we do this, I got a snack of brand new Kellogg's Fruit Loop flavored Pop Tarts and a couple of beers here, so we're good to go then.
That's pretty fruity.
Yeah, they're very. It tastes like Fruit Loops for sure. And I was telling Seth, I showed Seth what they look like on camera. She's like, yep, they're
But
fruity.
anyways,
Yep.
shall we get on with the show?
Yes, Dad. We'll get on with the show now, as we're gonna be talking. We're gonna talk about portable gaming consoles. Now, those of you who know me, I don't really play much portable gaming today. I mean, I used to when I was younger and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't play it as much as I did with like regular console gaming, but portable consoles, yeah, they hold a special place for us because taking the game on the go and stuff like that, and it's just an interesting idea.
Excuse me.
But unfortunately, we're not going to be talking about Tiger handheld games because those are just like games. I mean, sure, you bring them along to you, they're portable, but they're not like consoles like how the Game Boy or Game Boy Color, Nintendo DS, Game Boy Advance, or PSP, PlayStation Vita, or any of them. So that's not going to be the case there. But
And one of the guys that has experience with the Sega handhelds from way back in the day is not here at the moment, so
I did play a little bit of the Game Gear. I didn't own the Game Gear, but I did play some of the Game Gear. I'll admit that much I did, but I only played Sonic games on it and stuff, and it was one of those type of things. But I remember my very first portable gaming console was the Game Boy. I got it for my sixth or seventh. It was my sixth birthday, and sixth or seventh birthday. I can't remember. It was around there, but we'll just say sixth or seventh. So it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it was my sixth birthday. I was still in kindergarten at the time, and I remember getting like Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which was what introduced me to the Zelda franchise. Even though I did not know I would not be a fan of Zelda, but at the time, it was pretty cool to see that opening cutscene, like on how cool it looked because. I just remember that opening cutscene where it was raining and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool for its time, and of course Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, had Wario Land, had some Star Wars games, had Grand Theft Auto, which was a Game Boy Color game, but I kept and stuff, which I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I had some games out there. I didn't have that many games, but I had the Game Boy, had the Game Boy Pocket, the Game Boy Camera, and all that stuff. Yeah, I did have that stuff. Yeah.
the Game Boy camera was freaky though with some of those warning
Warning
things.
faces, yes. Oh my
Yeah.
lord,
What
those
were they
faces
trying to do?
torture us kids. Those things gave me nightmares.
Torture us? Make us piss our pants?
And now that had scary music to play along with it too. It's like holy shit. I mean, I would love to play it. It'd be a fun prank to play on your friends that have never played the Game Boy camera and stuff like that. But still, it's just why would they do that? I don't know. It's just not a good idea there. But what can you do?
Well, not every idea can strike gold.
No, no, not at all. I mean, but it was cool that one thing that was cool that the Game Boy camera it came in a bunch of different colors like blue, red, yellow. I think black was and stuff. But yeah, it had different colors there too. We had the blue one because my brother had an ice blue Game Boy Pocket, so he wanted one to match it and stuff.
And the Game Boy had other games, one of them having a very messy history of who owns it, being Tetris.
Oh yeah, Tetris was everywhere. First was owned by Tengen, then was owned by Nintendo, then this place, then that place, and so on, so on.
Like,
Tetris was everywhere.
it was more like the there's a YouTuber, I don't remember who, but there's a YouTuber out there that explains the whole history of Tetris and
We
how
know,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
created.
But it was created in, I can't forget the guy's name was made by Alexia something in Russia. I forget his last name at the moment, so that strikes me there. But
So yeah,
but yeah, like Tetris.
dude, good game, just good game, but poor execution on who should own it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the Game Boys would introduce me to Pac-Man because we had a Game Boy and a
Waka
Game Boy
waka
Color.
waka 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 waka.
Yeah, like the Game Boy, no, the Game Boy version, like do wappu 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 do wappu wappu like that over and over. And
That's actually pretty accurate.
yeah, really? How's that? And then when you get the power bells, the ghosts go like that. And I had both Pac-Man on the original Game Boy and Pac-Man, the Game Boy Color version. And you know what's actually funny? I tried them both in the Game Boy Color, and they both look different. And one of the original one looks kind of like freaky, like if someone took too much LSD or something. And I'm not exaggerating there, but like, and of course the Game Boy Color version had Pac Attack as well, which was like kind of like Tetris with Pac-Man there, which was actually an interesting idea. But yeah, it's just my history with the Game Boy is that yeah, I did play it, but I just didn't play it as much as I played other consoles. Like it was the Game Boy, it was the game console that started Wave Race, because Wave Race will start off as a Game Boy game. I did play it after Wave Race 64, and I will admit, Wave Race on the Game Boy was not very good because it was from an aerial view and you had to use the B button to accelerate when usually it's the A button. I didn't really like that. But like they had all the accessories, like it had like I know James Rolfe mentioned this in his video review of the Game Boy. It had like the carrying case, the the
They had the Game Boy had a lot of accessories, including things such as a light, which more or less was not very good, but a lot of us tried to use it to sneak playing the games while our parents were asleep. I'm guilty of that.
yeah, it had that light up screen where they would make the screen a little bit bigger. We had that, and we had the
Hmm.
printer for the Game Boy camera and stuff, which is actually pretty cool for its time. And I just they
It
don't.
was some of the accessories were pointless, others were silly, and a lot of them were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, like a lot of them are pretty cool there, but just about the Game Boy, it's like it was good for its time. Just that, like, just I mean, I liked it, just but portable gaming just wasn't really wasn't really there for the time being. So
It
that,
wasn't your cup of tea,
yeah,
just put it simply.
yeah. I mean, like I did play them on the go when I was in the car on an airplane because I had no other choice. But still, it's just what it is. Because like one of the reasons is that like looking down at that screen a lot, you're gonna forget where you're at. 'Cause I remember like one time I was playing Game Boy in the car, and I thought we were 10 minutes away from home, but in reality we were only 5 minutes away from home. And all of a sudden I look, we were home already in the garage. And I thought we were stuck under a tunnel or something.
Yeah, sometimes you just get so sucked into a game, whether that's a good thing or a bad game, whether that's a
You
bleh,
lose track of time. It's kind of like it was like that for.
whether whether that's a good thing or a bad thing depends on the person.
It was kind of like that when I was when I was desperately beating Sonic 06 before the summer ended and before my graduation party was on the day of my graduation party. So, yeah, I guess it was like one of those things where I kept trying to play it over and over to try and to try and beat it, and lo and behold, I did. But that's kind of off topic there. But of course, like the Game Boy
Yeah, we've
Color.
already covered the system
But
that
let's talk about
game
the
is
Game Boy
on,
Color.
so
Yeah, we could talk about the Game Boy. We talk about the Game Boy Pocket, which is pretty much just a smaller, slimmer version of the Game Boy. Really isn't anything to say, it's just a smaller version, and isn't as bulky is what it is. That's pretty much what it is.
mhm.
And
The Game Boy Color is where I started my handheld adventures,
Yeah, and
with the first games being Pokemon Yellow.
for me, the first
And
game. Oh, go
then
ahead.
I got Pokemon Red and Blue.
Oh, you got
And
my.
then Pinball, which Pinball, I will have to say, is unique compared to other games as it has a rumble pack built in.
Yep. And I also remember, like, I'm glad you mentioned that, mentioned Game Boy Color, because, like, I actually, the first games I got for the Game Boy Color were Game & Watch Gallery 2. I forgot to mention I already had the original Game & Watch Gallery, and I had Game & Watch Gallery 2, so that was pretty cool to play more of those Game & Watch games like that, because I remember, like, back, like, in 1998 or so, they were selling some of those little keychain Game & Watch games were, like, very small, like those very small things you get from like Targets like that, and like my brother had one called Mario, and I had one called Fire, and Donkey Kong Jr. and Parachute had those. So it's cool to see those, like see the classic versions and modern versions of those on the screen there. That was pretty interesting in my opinion for sure. But like
And it was cool with the Game Boy Color Super Mario Bros. Deluxe being a port with a bit of extras
yep.
of the original Super Mario Bros.
You know, I liked how you could play as Luigi single player. Just press select button, you're Luigi. Sure, there are no changes between him and Mario, but still, it's cool to play as him.
Yeah,
And
this was before the Luigi slippery shoes.
yeah, and there was also the fortune teller mode where you can get fortune teller where you like get very lucky, extremely lucky, which give you like three like three extra lives and stuff, or unlucky or extremely unlucky. And the funny thing is, I printed out a bunch of those fortune teller things to try and like I was gonna play a fortune teller game with my brother and some friends, but it didn't really work out that well.
Almost.
Yeah, and of
But
course, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done. Sorry.
I
And
have to say, Pokemon was probably the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy's best series.
it was kind of like the Game Boy's
It
mascot. Ash was kind of like the Game
it
Boy's
kind of
mascot.
was.
Yeah, because
And the games have really evolved over time.
I know it's like I remember like my brother had red and I had blue, and I just remember like it was like, oh cool, these are in there, these Pokemon in there, because one thing I did like blue because Vulpix was in it, Squirtle was the mascot for that one, Meowth was in it, and like certain Pokemon you only get there and stuff. And I remember like trading back and forth with friends and everything. That was actually
Yep.
fun. To,
Thus, you need the link cable and a friend or owning a second Game Boy slash Game Boy Color.
Well, yeah, and also the fact, like, I remember, like there was, like, one area in the blue version, like, Vulpix appeared in it, and my brother's like, I didn't know Vulpix was in here, and I go, I didn't know either until I saw it, and I was like, I just never told him, because I just figured, well, I figured he'd be surprised somehow, because here's the funny thing, I remember, like, when Taco Bell was selling, like beanie Pokemons, they had, Dratini, Zubat, Vulpix, and another one, I got Vulpix.
Cha-ching!
I got Vulpix, and my brother got Dratini, and I actually pretty cool because like Vulpix was kind of like the first Pokemon I pretty much heard of, and I liked it because he was a dog. I like dogs, but I did not know Zubat the Bat was there too. Because I thought Zubat would end up being cooler, but still,
Zubat, 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 Zubat. Did I see a Golbat? No, that was a Zubat.
yeah, Zubat. Yeah, it has no
Points
eye.
to anybody that gets that reference.
I don't get the reference. Sorry,
You get no points then, good sir.
sorry, Your Highness. Sorry, Princess Sadet. Like I said, people, she's Mrs. Giggles of the group. Now she give me the giggles. I'm gonna. Oops, I snorted there. Oops. I snort when I laugh at times.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
I know.
We're all having fun here.
Yeah, we're having a great time here because. But now I want to talk about this little sad story
Hold
about my.
on.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to go over to the
No,
advanced.
I was gonna talk about a sad story about what happened in my original Game Boy Color, the original purple one. Let's see, I was at my brother's Little League baseball game, and I had a bag of lemonade and batteries, and the Game Boy were in the bag.
Oh
I was drinking
no.
some lemonade, and I forgot to put the cap on all the way, and the thing fell in the bag, and it made a mess, and it leaked in the bag, and it got on the Game Boy and on the batteries and everything, and it was all wet inside, and I broke the Game Boy. And there was no. What happened was that when it first broke, there was no sound coming out of it, so we broke the sound. And my dad dried it with a hair dryer, and it worked. It did work for a little bit, but then all of a sudden when I tried to play it again, the color was all messed up looking, like all black and like look all fuzzy looking and stuff. And it when I tried to turn on, it would just shut off on you automatically, and then it just like stopped altogether. And it was kind of. The bad thing is that when I got my new Game Boy Color, I was always afraid to go to a Little League baseball game, and it was raining, and I was afraid that the rain was going to break the Game Boy. I was afraid that the rain was going to break it, but my dad said if only if you drop it in water, because we were cleaning it over the sink to get the water off, and he goes, don't break it, do it. No, only if you drop it in water like this, it's going to break, but we're not going to break it, it's fine. You're not dropping it in water, because I was so overprotective of having my portable game consoles near a
By
liquid
the
beverage.
way, did Nintendo have a free repair offer back then?
I
Not
don't know.
sure.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is
The
that
internet was definitely not what it is today.
I don't know because of I don't know because like I got the Game Boy Color in December and it broke in May, so I'm sure the warranty expired by then. But I didn't know about it either. But then again, we had no internet downtime, and you nobody was really going to want to call those 800 numbers for the most part. So what could you have done? But the thing is that like yeah, I got the new one and I was more protective of my consoles and stuff. I mean like I played I mean I also played like there were also a couple other games I played for the Game Boy Color like their port of Donkey Kong Country, which I'm right now. Donkey Kong Country running on an 8-bit portable console. Interesting idea, but just not really that good because trying to port a 16-bit game over to an 8-bit console is gonna make some sacrifice there and everything. It's just not really gonna work in the end.
Hmm.
And it's bullshit because like and they made it significantly harder because of the jumping physics and everything. So it's just like there's a balance issue in Game Boy Color versus Donkey Kong Country. It's like the game that there's a balance issue in that. And I also had Heroes of Might and Magic on the Game Boy Color. That was not very good. Army Men 2 was on there that I got. And there was one game that I know that I both liked back in the day was Kirby and Temple.
Yeah, that game was definitely a little ahead of its time
Yeah,
because it was one of the first, if not earliest, motion-controlled games.
the funny thing is, I didn't even know how to play the game that well because I thought you had to. I never heard of something where you had to use motion control. I was pretty bad at the game. I was pretty bad at it, but it was like I don't know. It just there was something about it. Just I just couldn't. It was just couldn't. I was stuck in that. I mean, I got up to level 2. I didn't get far in that game at all because I was bad at it. But I mean, I appreciate the game for what it was. I mean, I know Kirby 64 was out around the time too. So yeah, and of course like. Because like, how far did you get in Kirby Tilt and Tumble?
I've actually never played the game. I just know of the game
Ah,
and its mechanics and such because about a few weeks ago, prior to this video, I actually watched a video about that game.
yeah. It was for me. It was the go-to Kirby game on the Game Boy Color because we had Kirby Dream Land on the Game Boy and stuff. But it's just I don't know. It's like
That wasn't as good as the remake that we'll be talking about later.
yes, we will talk about that later because it is the remake we're talking about. And why did this turn to a
uh,
musical number?
you botched it big time.
Okay,
And
sorry.
I thought I botched it.
Oh well. Thanks for telling me, princess. But yeah, they're like,
You missed the opportunity to go, well, excuse me, princess. And I would have been like, oh, that reminds me, before we go into the Game Boy Advance and just segue into the thing.
well, but it's better if there's one game we gotta talk about for the Game Boy Color. It's Perfect Dark on the
Legend of
Game.
Zelda.
Nope, Perfect Dark on the Game Boy Color because
Legend of Zelda.
Perfect Dark.
Legend of Zelda.
No, Princess Sadet, Perfect Dark.
Well, excuse
Ew, me.
me.
Well, excuse me, princess. Happy now, I
Well,
said.
excuse me, mister.
For a second, I thought you. Oh, I thought you were gonna say, "Well, excuse me, burger."
What?
No, just
That's
say.
too predictable.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like, Perfect Dark on the Game Boy Color was kind of ahead of its time because it was one of the only Game Boy Color games that had voice acting in it, and it had like 3D graphics and stuff for its time, and it was like Pokemon Pinball that had like a rumble feature and like the battery power and stuff. And if you had the little Game Boy Link thing for your N64, you could put that cartridge into your into it to play Red Perfect Dark and get some cheat codes unlocked. Not all of them, but a good majority of them, like all weapons and stuff. And of course, like the cutscenes in Perfect Dark Game Boy Color are nothing special. Just like two faces of the characters on a black screen, just like talking with text. But still, for voice acting was time, yeah. And I was like, I remember like on New Year's Eve, I was showing my dad it, and he automatically knew. He asked me, "Is that Perfect Dark?" And I go, "How'd you know?" I recognize the voices. And just somehow I knew he was gonna know that somehow. And there was one game I forgot to mention on the Game Boy that I had that I did not like. I want to go back to it very quickly, and that's James Bond 007. Why? It was a crappy Zelda clone with James Bond in it. And I'll tell you this right now. Since when does James Bond go around trying to find a hammer to help a guy fix a bridge? Or when does James Bond try to find a tire pump to help somebody fix a flat tire on their bike?
It's James Bond Fetch Quest version.
Yeah, it was dumb. I remember like my brother got that game because because like I don't know, I think when he was sick that one day, my grandma just like took him, just I had to go with some errands, so she took him to the store, and he ended up getting that game. Because like this is back when James Bond was, when we first learned about James Bond and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of backtracking there, but we need to continue here with like the Game Boy Color, because like there was also Army Men 2, which I had, which is like a port of a PC game, which I liked how it had some voice setting and stuff, where like it just when you picked up a weapon or so, which was actually pretty interesting. But the voices were set up for Army Men 1, so I did not know that until much later, but that's just me. But yeah, I mean, it was nice. Game Boy Color was interesting there, but I think portable games started picking up a lot with the Game Boy Advance, and I know you played the Game Boy Advance, right? Haven't you, Sadet?
Yep.
Now, what?
And before we get into the Game Boy Advance, as I was saying, I wanted to segue into the Game Boy Advance by talking about two Zelda games that were on the Game Boy Advance. The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Two very unique games I have talked about a couple times, but not in full detail. They are very unique games, being a set.
Hmm.
Originally, it was going to be three games, but they had to cut it down to two due to a few issues.
Oh.
Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons were on the Game Boy Color and were very great games that uses a passcode system. You put passcodes from one game into the other to unlock stuff, as well as an extra ending
Huh.
where you fight the real final boss of both stories. And if you were to put these Game Boy Color games into the Game Boy Advance, an extra shop opens up right next to the main shop of each game that you can only get to via the Game Boy Advance, because in the Game Boy Color, the doors to the secret shops are closed.
Oh, that's not good.
It's a little extra secret. You gotta love those secrets. Zelda series is known for secrets. I mean, seriously, what's the point of adventuring if there's no secrets to find?
Good question. What is the point?
There's no point at all if there's no secrets or anything exciting to find on an adventure.
That's true. Yeah, so that's definitely true there. Yeah, and like I feel like that Yeah, just that me not for the Game Boy Advance games that you said like you were gonna talk about Link to the Past. Was there a port of it on the Game Boy Advance or no? I can't remember.
There was
Okay, I figured
that
there was.
also had a second game with it that was a pain in the butt to play because you need
The
friends
Four
with the
Swords.
Game Boy
The
Advance.
Four Swords.
And yes, the Four Sword games, which a sequel was put on the GameCube, which you could play solo, but you could not play it solo on the Game Boy Advance.
Really? That
Mm-hmm.
sucks. Well,
Yeah.
well, for me, when it came to the Game Boy Advance, of course there was Super Mario Advance, which was the very first game that came out for it. I remember playing it in Atlanta, Georgia, when I was at there on a trip for my mom because she had a meeting there, and I went with her because because my dad and brother had to stay home for the Little League baseball game because my dad was a coach, my brother was on the team, so it was my mom and I who just went. We just went to do some shopping, went to World Coca-Cola, which is kind of a topic, but I'm just saying there, and like we happened to find Game Boy Advance when we were at the mall. They had like the Game Boy Advance plan, played the little Mario Brothers arcade game for the Game Boy Advance there, and that was actually pretty cool. And I thought that was the first time I ever like learned about Super Mario Go 2 because like with the All Stars start that it was like it was cool like they had talk and how it had Luigi's slippery shoe thing and stuff which said that talked about and of course like with Princess Peach in the air and stuff which was in Super Mario Yo-Yo Brothers with Super Mario 2 for the NES and stuff and of course there was Earthworm Jim but Earthworm Jim was a port of a game on the Super Nintendo and
I
Genesis.
forgot about that guy's existence.
Yeah, he started off as a video game character before becoming a TV series. That no joke there. And but like the Game Boy Advance version was kind of butchered, had different sounding music, and it was sounded muffled and such. I mean, just saying there. And of course, there was also for like what games I had. I had Duke Nukem Advance too. I like Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem Advance was definitely into a first person shooter. And there was
And Kingdom Hearts was on the Game Boy Advance,
yeah, I
which
know.
one of our friends pointed out had a CGI-esque cutscene at the beginning, which is pretty impressive for its time.
I agree. It was almost like with Max Payne on the Game Boy Advance. So the Game Boy Advance version of Max Payne had full voice setting in the cutscenes, and I thought that was really cool. They had to fit all that voice setting in that small little cartridge there. And of course, like it had some bad games on it too, like the awful port of Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D was only made by two people, and there was no music in it. Instead of that, there was no music option. There was a music option. There was no music in the game at all, and
Yeah, and Spyro 2 Season of Flame on the Game Boy Advance was just utter shit.
yeah. And of course, Doom was on there too, and like the Super Nintendo version of Doom, it was garbage. The Game Boy Advance version of Doom was garbage, like the Super Nintendo version, and the 32X version.
But
But
that's not to say there weren't a bunch of gems on the Game Boy
yeah,
Advance.
like Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion was on there. It was a great, aka the fourth classic Metroid game. And it had a very interesting story about what happened with Samus when she got infected by the parasite called X, and
Mm-hmm.
her ship got destroyed when it tripped into an asteroid belt when she lost consciousness, and a big part of her suit was damaged, so she had to like
And that game was pretty scary. I've never played it, but I have seen it on quite a few top 10 scary related to video game
the
lists.
opening cutscene was like creepy because like it showed Samus getting infected by that parasite, and it shows her losing consciousness and her ship drifting into the asteroid belt and crashing. The thing is that if that is cannot canon to the Metroid series that like Metroid
I
Prime,
think it is, but anybody listening can go down into the comments and correct because we're not afraid of admitting if we're wrong or not.
right? We're here to admit if we messed up or not is the thing. So we're just saying there, and like. It's like, of course, there was also Metroid Zero Mission on there too. Metroid Zero Mission was also on there, which I never played, but I heard good things about it. But
Same.
I forgot to mention F-Zero Maximum Velocity before Episode Legend came out, which is based on the TV series. But Episode Maximum Velocity was interesting because it
It
was
was kind of a bit of a tie-in to the anime somewhat, if I'm recalling.
Episode no, that's Episode GP Legend. Maximum Velocity came out way before the anime came out.
Oh,
Maximum Velocity was the game that did not have Captain Falcon. It had like Hot Violet in it and stuff like that. There was no Captain Falcon in it. It was like in an alternate universe somewhat.
Cool.
Yeah, and it was
Easy.
actually still it's okay. It's like it was actually pretty cool that that like an episode that had some portable F-Zero somewhat on there, and of course that Namco Museum and Pac-Man collection and like those were cool to have on there too, and also.
And Fire Emblem. Fire
Mhm.
Emblem made its first English debut on the GBA.
And Iridion 3D. Ever heard of that game, Iridion 3D?
Nope.
It was a flying game like Star Fox, but the graphics were ahead of its time. They
You
dedicated.
and your flying game obsession.
What do you mean? What do you mean obsession? Oh, because of Sky Odyssey and stuff. I get you, because I've been wanting us to do Let's Play of Sky Odyssey for a while. Yeah, I get you. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I get you. 'Cause, I can't help it if I like airplanes. I can't help it if I have like model airplanes.
It's fine. It's
I
fine. I'm
know
just
that.
teasing
I
you.
know that. I mean, like, I know that. I've always liked planes and stuff. But yeah, like fly.
Besides, I have nobody else to tease here.
That's
The
true.
kittens are asleep,
That
and none of the others are in the chat here with us.
that's
So
true.
who else am I going to tease? Myself?
Good
How am I
question.
going to tease myself?
No, I'd rather have you tease me than tease yourself. Definitely. But yeah, like original, and also it also had the
And
crap.
I know that there's probably somebody here with a dirty mind with on how to tease.
You've got that, and of course there was also that awful port of Rayman called Rayman Advance. Who can forget that awful port?
Yeah, but we're talking about the good games now, like
Yeah,
Sonic
yeah, Sonic Advance.
Advance.
Yeah, Sonic Advance. I like
I've
Sonic.
only played Sonic Advance 3, and cream and cheese are absolutely broken pieces of adorableness.
To be honest with you, I wish I could have played Sonic Advance 2, but I skipped out on it for some reason. I only had Sonic Advance 1 and 2, or Sonic Advance 3. Sonic Advance was interesting because, like, for a Sonic game on a non-Sega console first time, this is back when Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out, and that was actually really cool. And I liked the music of the game. Like, the music was actually really pretty cool, because for some reason some of the music was just awesome there. And of course, with Sonic Advance 3, they had that partner system. It was interesting when you pair up Knuckles and Amy. Knuckles uses Amy's hammer and jumps like Amy and stuff. It's just interesting there, in my opinion.
Yeah, but cream and cheese
I
with
know.
pretty much anybody is broken.
How are they broken exactly? 'Cause I don't have the game anymore, but how are they broken exactly?
You you gotta see it to believe it. That's all I
Just,
can say.
oh, tell me, please, please, Dad, tell me.
They are broken. Just go look it up yourself. I don't want to spoil anything.
I
I know
understand.
that.
I understand. I'm not gonna do it now, though, of course, but I will check it out soon.
Do it after this,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Just remind
But
me, though.
other
Remind me.
great games,
Sonic Battle.
other great games that were on the Game Boy Advance were Sonic Battle,
Yeah, I loved.
Pokemon, as well as the Gen 3 Pokemon games and the Mystery Dungeon games as well.
Yeah, because Sonic Battle was the.
Another
Go ahead, it's not done.
Another great game was Sword of Mana, one of my personal favorites. I recommend checking that game out. Golden Sun and Golden Sun The Lost Stage. Beautiful games. Play Golden Sun first because Golden Sun The Lost Stage is the second half to the story.
Uh huh.
And it also uses a code system to transfer information from the first game to the second.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Sonic Battle here a little bit here because Sonic Battle, I liked how it was a combination of a fighting game and like kind of reminded you of Smash Bros. A little bit too. Had a cool storyline about that robot Emerald stuff was, but you who what's
That robot.
yeah I know
That robot is so tragic.
I played I beat the game and stuff and it was sad, but yeah,
I seen the
the
episodes from the anime and
me
oh
too. We
god.
we were watching it. We were watching it together that one time, and
Yeah.
I remember just thinking like, "Holy!" It's just like, "Wow, that's epic. That's intense." But one good thing I liked about Sonic Battle was the music. Like it had some kind of rock, some like 16-bit rock like rock pop music in it. And like Amy's Room was probably the interesting one because it's just kind of just I don't know, just it was just an interesting song there. And Rouge's theme.
I am such a cute girl. Sonic will definitely love me.
Yeah, and of course Rouge's theme too. It's like, and of course Gamma E102 Gamma's in it too. Somehow he's alive and kicking in Sonic Battle. He's fine. And they know who he is, and Chaos Zero's in it too.
Eh, who cares about continuity,
Yeah, that's true. True that, yeah. But of course, like it's actually one of my favorite things about Sonic Battle. Knuckles, when Knuckles get mad, he would go like that. He would like grunt like that. And I pretty much would want to play it over and over and stuff. And of course, like the Emerald Town song was pretty good too. And it's kind of interesting how you navigated like the town area. You just like you had to like move the cursor, and he would move to the cursor. So, but like,
Another one
go ahead.
Another one of my favorite series that was on the Game Boy Advance was the Mega Man Zero series.
I knew you were going to mention that.
It's such a perfect continuation from the X series, and it ended beautifully with pretty much Zero. Oh my gosh, it's just such a perfect ending. You can't get much perfect than what Zero pulled off.
I agree. I know what you mean. And I don't really even care for Zero, but I do know what you mean there. Definitely, I do know what you mean. In fact, like I never really played any of the Mega Man Zero games with that. I never played any of them. But I want to talk about a couple bad games here that I had that I did not like. I
just got one more before we go over to the bad games.
Okay, go ahead.
I also love the Mega Man Network Battle series. I'm Team Falzard, by the way.
Team, I don't know anything about it, so. Oh, I've also about to mention Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga, Partners in Crime and stuff. I forgot about that one. The JRPG.
Don't you mean Partners in Time?
That's what I meant. Yeah, that like they call Luigi.
And Mr. I'm pretty sure Partners in Time was on the DS.
Well, one of them. Well, Superstar Saga was on the Game Boy Advance. I only played the first one. I remember they always called Luigi Mr. Lime Green. They never bothered to get his name because they didn't talk to other people. They just talked to themselves in that gibberish language. Well,
don't put it in that or they don't.
Yeah, I thought they were speaking in English.
I apologize for my terrible impression.
Yeah, Mario and Mr. Lime Green.
I'm not going to attempt it because everybody will probably make fun of that. Feel free to do so.
Yeah. Well, like it's funny how Bowser replaced Peach's voice with explosions, and like every time she talked, it would blow stuff up.
That was not Bowser's doing.
Well, I forget who did it then because I haven't played the game in a long time.
It was that really weird looking thing.
I don't...
That thing I don't even bother remembering the name of, but the main minion that got him very popular it had was Fluffle, I think his name was.
I don't remember.
Fluffle.
Yeah. Because I should also mention that like there was also ports and also versions of Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario 3 on Game Boy Advance too, and it was also somewhat improved, just like I preferred like the originals better with the music wise like that, but you gotta give it credit because they did the best they could. And like it would have been cool if we got like let's see here.
By the way, if you think about it, that's fake Italian speak of Mario and Luigi was technically voice acting.
So they were speaking in Italian then, or so. Interesting.
It was a fake Italian. I don't think it translates to anything.
It's just gibberish, we'll say. Gibberish.
Yeah. But by technicality, it was voice acting.
Yeah, it was. I agree. In fact, like, I try to think if there's any other games like that I had on there before we get into it and stuff. I did have Madden 2002, but I didn't really play it much because, I just didn't really play it that much, but I didn't really count that. And my brother had the game called Sports Illustrated Kids Football, which I didn't really. The only thing I remember is like the quarterback going, hike, yeah, like that. You hear that over and over. But that's pretty much all I knew there. But aside from that, now we gotta talk about the bad games here. Now, I had
Mm-hmm.
some bad games, like I mentioned two of them, Wolfenstein and Doom. But there was
And I have
also
mentioned one bad game as well,
Mortal
being
Kombat.
Spyro 2, Season of Flames, as well as I think the other was Season of Ice. Don't quite remember the other title.
Well,
So,
there was Mortal Kombat Advance, a very bad port of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. The opponent AI was so unbalanced where they would whoop your ass in on the normal difficulty setting, and the only way to beat him was with the easiest setting, but just shoving him to the wall, just punching, kicking him without doing any techniques or anything, just ready to mash buttons. And Shao Kahn was so overpowered, even more overpowered than it was before, which made everything worse in my opinion. So yeah, just
ouch.
yeah. Like you imagine like playing the normal setting of Mortal Kombat Advance where the characters just come flying up and down from the ground, just doing the things flying down and stuff, not giving you a chance. And also, you're always fighting the same characters in the same order. You only fight Scorpion, Jade, Kung Lao, Sub-Zero Classic, um, Sub-Zero Unmasked, Cyrax, and I forget who else and stuff too, but and the music is just kind of just not the best of the two, and it's got the Mortal Kombat 2 Shao Kahn voice doing now instead of the Mortal Kombat 3 Shao Kahn. So yeah, that's just kind of weird there, and it's like trying to think what else what's wrong with that game. It's like just and the music too and stuff and everything, and just what really made unlockable is just human smoke, Motaru and Shao Kahn, and there was no save feature like that, so you couldn't really do that there. But if you want to talk about a really bad game on the Game Boy Advance, Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, released in 2006, when around the time Sonic 06 came out, and this was just as a way to celebrate Sonic's next anniversary. And I don't know if you played Sonic the Hedgehog
Which
Genesis.
they did poorly.
Sonic the Hedgehog, well, they did good with Sonic 06 in my opinion, but Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, have you played Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis?
Nope.
Good. First off, crappy music. Spin dash, the anniversary remote is just basically Sonic with the spin dash, and it's just you've been able to there were like other versions of Sonic the Hedgehog that were much better. Like I'm sure the DS could have ported the game just fine, but they put it on the Game Boy Advance for some odd reason. I don't know why. And even the
Eh,
even Sonic Mega Collection,
they
Mega
probably they probably put it on the Game Boy Advance because they wanted to add more to its library.
probably, but it was kind of a waste.
Yeah, prob- but not everything can be winners.
But I want to
Not
ask you a
everything
question.
can strike gold.
What color Game Boy Advance did you get? I got the white one, the Arctic one. What color did you get?
Pink!
Oh yeah, I forgot it was a pink one. My brother got the Glacier. I got the Arctic. And for Game Boy Advance SP, I got the Sapphire.
By the way, I have to admit to, I have to say something. My pink Game Boy Advance turned orange because it's been so long.
I don't know what happened with my white one, but with my Arctic one, it's been so long. But I'll just say that,
But yeah, mine was the pink one that you can actually see through.
yeah. There was also the Boy Advance SP, which is pretty much a smaller Game Boy Advance. It had a built-in backlight in it, so that was cool. They had a built-in backlight to it. And but
And it can fold up
well, there was
as
one
well.
problem.
Like one of the handhelds we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, which we're kind of gonna move on to the Game Boy Advance SP right now anyway, because like we're kind of talk about there.
But
But but I had
before we end it off, two things. I have the Game Boy Micro, which is you want something smaller than the Game Boy Advance SP? Well, here you go, the Micro.
yeah, and of
It's
course
so small.
that could break easily. I heard, and like it was one. My main complaint about the Game Boy Advance SP, my main complaint is that you have to get a special adapter to use headphones that does get worn out after a while. Like I
Yeah,
never.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because like you had to get a special. And here's the thing, the headphones that came with the adapter, they broke within within like 3 months or so. Thankfully, you were able to use backup
Oof.
ones, but still, that was just pathetic how that had to happen there because built-in like why was there a built-in headphone adapter that should have been there from the beginning, but no, they had to like
Could
put it.
have, but they probably didn't think about that when they were making it.
Okay,
The
okay.
One of the cool things about the Advance series of games was the Game Boy Advance having cartoons slash animes on some of those things,
I
on
talk
some of
about.
those cartridges.
I know you're talking about Dragon Ball. There's some Dragon Ball games and stuff. I know.
No, not games based on anime. I mean, like the Pokemon anime series you could watch on your handheld
Hmm.
if you buy those special cartridges.
Are you talking about Game Boy Video?
Yep.
Oh lordy lord! I saw that in at Circuit City, and I thought it was a joke or something. But then I realized that whoa, you can watch videos on your Game Boy. But the
It
problem is,
didn't last long, but it was a cool idea looking back on it now.
yeah, but you gotta think of the price for the game for the cartridges that like the price for the cartridges were just like
Yeah,
were expensive.
that's why it didn't last long. And before I forget, there was
thirty
also
dollars.
the e-reader.
Yeah, it would cost.
Does anybody remember the e-reader?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that forgets its existence.
Yeah, like it's just the thing is, it cost around $20 to $30, and it only had like 2 to 4 episodes on it, so you could pretty much get a full DVD season for the same price or so. So it just really isn't even
More
really.
or less,
Yeah.
depending on where you're shopping.
And with the Game Boy Player for the GameCube, you can't use those cartridges on your Game Boy Player. You can't watch them on the big screen.
Nope.
And
But hey, the Game Boy Video was a cool novelty thing.
yeah, I mean,
Unlike unlike the e-reader, which was odd,
yeah.
having some very odd games you need the e-reader for,
Mhm.
like the Mario Party Advance game. That was an odd one.
Yeah.
How do people play that?
I know. But like the Game Boy, like just like the Game Boy Video, because I remember like it had episodes of Rugrats All Grown Up, had Fairly Odd Parents, Strawberry Shortcake, Sonic X, Kirby Right Back at You, and Pokemon and stuff. That's pretty much all I knew. Had some movies on there too, which wasn't really. This wasn't the best console to watch movies on. There's a portable console we'll talk about later on, which had movie discs too. But we'll talk about that later on, like I said. But the get like,
Mhm.
but like, and we could talk about the Game Boy Player, but it's just basically playing full screen. So that's basically all you need to know. That's basically what it is. But yeah. But now we're gonna talk about the Nintendo. Do you have anything else to say before we move on to the DS, Sadet?
Wasn't there a certain handheld before the two from another company?
Which was
PlayStations?
the Nintendo DS came out before the PSP.
Huh. You're right.
Hmm. I told you.
You're right. I was wrong.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But
Beep
yeah,
you.
like we're gonna talk about the Nintendo DS, which was the first 3D portable console that was made. Now I know like there was Virtual Boy and stuff like that, but that wasn't really 3D or so. But like Nintendo DS, I remember like when we first got them, my parents were trying to find them for us for Christmas. It was very hard to find them in get GameStop and stuff. My parents told me they called there every day, and they only have two in stock when they got them for us. And like I was like thinking to myself,
I got a total of 3DSs.
yeah,
Not 3DS.
I get ya.
3DSs.
I get you, yeah. Because like the thing is like with the Nintendo DS, we only had I wasn't really big into the Nintendo DS because like it's just that because like it's just I'll admit yeah it was innovative with Super Mario 64 DS and like and like Mario Kart DS. And I can't believe I forgot to mention Mario Kart Superstar on the Game Boy Advance, but there was no need to talk about that one.
And there was Mario Hoops 3-on-3, which I played a lot with one of my friends on the bus back when I was in school.
Yeah, I mean, like, the DS did have some good games. The Super Mario 64 DS. It had Ridge Racer
It
DX.
did.
It had a port of Ridge Racer 64, which was Ridge Racer DX, and it had Resident Evil,
The
the
Mega
original.
Man,
Go ahead.
the first four Mega Man, the four Mega Man Zero games was re-released in a collection for the DS.
Uh huh.
Well,
And
sorry, Dexter. Sorry, Peach. Didn't mean to startle your rough and tumble time.
that's a. Don't worry about Dexter, buddy. Dexter is just being silly.
Dexter is just like wrestling with Peach. Be
Yeah,
careful, you two.
you got it. But like,
But there was a lot of great games, as well as some not so great games.
I know, which we will talk about because, like,
We'll
it, it,
talk
it was
about a lot, but we'll talk about those later
later.
because I want to get into the juicy meat
Me
here.
too, because there were some games that I did like on there, like Resident Evil
Same.
DS, like Resident Evil Deadly Silent, aka Resident Evil DS. The original, it was a port of the original Resident Evil, and a port on a handheld, which was the first time. Well, I know there was that prototype for the Game Boy Color Resident Evil, but it was 90% finished before they stopped it. And of course, there was Sonic Rush, which I played a little bit of it. It was actually somewhat fun, we'll say. It was pretty cool how to use both the screens there. And Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow was a good game. Even though I never played Aria of Sorrow, it was cool to play Dawn of Sorrow. It had some cool music there and took advantage of the stylus pen and everything else. And what I liked about Super Mario 64 DS was playing as Luigi, Yoshi, and Wario. But I was disappointed that you couldn't choose the character you wanted at the beginning. You started off as Yoshi. It was like,
Ursula.
yeah, I know Yoshi's a popular character, but it's kind of disappointing to like
I
not
feel like they just wanted to like try something new with the DS remake.
yeah, because I was thinking to myself, why can't I choose my character? I mean, it was just that it was also
Because they wanted
I
to
know, I
add a
know.
little bit more story to
I
it.
know. In fact, like I also found it interesting that like what I found weird is that you had to hold down a button to run. For some reason, this time you had to hold down a button to run.
I'm pretty sure that was with a lot of Mario games.
Well, compared to the original Super Mario 64, you didn't have to hold down a button to run. You just had to move forward with the control stick.
If anybody's able to correct this, because you I don't think that was the case, but I could be wrong since it's been ages since
I
I
know.
played.
Yeah. I mean, like,
So if anybody can correct us here,
yeah. Feel
feel
free to.
free, because we're only human. We
Well,
all
yeah,
make mistakes.
we're all gonna make mistakes, yeah. But like when it comes to the back to like we're talking about here, back to Resident Evil DS, I thought it was really cool to have the original Resident Evil in the palm of your hand with some extra content in it and stuff too, like the rebirth mode, which had like some mini games in it and stuff like that. And there was a mode where you had to breathe into the DS mic to perform CPR on the character Richard.
Oh, don't remind me about blowing into the microphone. That just gives me headaches by remembering Mario Party DS.
I never played it, so I can't tell you there. But
Some of the mini games required you to blow into the microphone.
oh, I get ya.
And that would give my friend and I headaches a lot because of how much we played the game,
Yeah, but one
especially during lunch hour.
yeah, but one weird thing about Resident Evil
Before class.
One weird thing about Resident Evil DS is that, like, for some reason, the default color blood is green. I usually
They
switch it
have
to.
to make it as close to PG as possible, so green blood is less deterring than red, right?
Just use red blood. It's
Yes.
more realistic.
We don't want it to be too realistic, though. We have to think of the children. The children! I
Yeah.
know our game is meant for an older audience, but the children!
Yeah, I know. And, like, Of course, it's even got the door scenes and the stair scenes in it too, but they ruin it by giving you the option to skip them, and people like this, but I don't. I like the door scenes. I like those loading screens. I don't want to skip them. Why would I want to skip something that I like?
Well, at the very least, it's optional,
Well,
right?
yeah, but still, every walkthrough you see on
So you
every
can't
walk.
really complain because you can still get your door seen while everybody else can be happy with the I can skip this cutscene
Every
beeping
walkthrough,
finally.
like almost every walkthrough on YouTube has them skipping the door scenes. So I think I
I
saw.
think this is just my theory, a YouTuber theory. They're just trying to save time for their videos.
That's true, yeah. And I'm not bashing anybody. It's just that I've been a fan of the door scenes ever since I first played, saw them, and I thought, well, I like the door scenes and stuff. That was why. But like, I'll admit the one of the complaints I have with it is the remix soundtrack. Like when you go into the mansion, it plays the second floor remix theme on both floors you're on, and when you revisit the mansion again, it plays the same theme. I mean, I do understand like they probably didn't have the rights for the original soundtrack, so they had to do the remix soundtrack, which I understand that there, but just the original soundtrack is just still better in my opinion. That's all. I mean, I mainly only played the DS version of Resident Evil when I was traveling or in the car somewhere or when someone was using the TV. But I gave it to a friend of mine, to my friend Carrie in my math class. So I beat it. I wasn't gonna play anymore. I didn't have a DS anymore, so I gave it to her, and I gave it to her for free because it only cost $10 at the time, so I was fine with it.
And people here know I'm a bit of a Pokemon fan. Well, at least I hope you guys know since I love Pokemon. But I got Pokemon Pearl version because I'm on Team Palkia. I love Palkia more than Dialga. You can bite my beep.
Sorry, your sensor. The sensor came on. The
Yeah,
sensor.
my sensor's been going off nonstop for some reason.
Yeah.
I got Pokemon White 2. I did not get the first game because reason. But I did get Pokemon Conquest, which is actually one of my favorite spin-off titles. Yes, I know. Not a lot of people like this game because, oh, it's just another strategy game, but it's a good game. Just give it a chance. Another game that I know people bashed on during its time was a Kirby game called Kirby's Canvas Curse. Seriously, people, just stop expecting such and such and just open your mind to a game. You might find it in a completely new art style, considering what the game is around.
Yeah. And
And honestly, the final boss in Kirby's Canvas Curse is freaky because when she goes into her soul form, and people, you can correct me if I'm wrong, she is the first mainstream Kirby boss with a soul form, and she is freaky, but she's not attacking Kirby. She's not attacking him, but she is attacking him because there's nothing else she could attack. She is trying to attack the player, the one with the paintbrush.
I know.
And she is just screaming and yelling because she knows she cannot attack you beyond the screen.
Really.
Bosses that can break the fourth wall like that are so freaky. We should do a podcast on that someday.
On what? Freaky bosses?
On fourth wall breaking characters.
Oh yeah, I agree, yeah. In fact, like back to the DS here, Rebecca was saying there was actually one game that I despised. Star Fox Command. A disgrace to the Star Fox franchise. Worse than Star Fox Assault. Star Fox Command is basically a strategy game with Star Fox characters in it, where you have to turn and move with the touchscreen and the stylus pen. Why can't you just use the D-pad? I don't know. But it's just pathetic. And of course, like with the characters talking gibberish, like in the Super Nintendo Starbucks game, it's like oh blah 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 blah. I'll be do white blah 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 blah.
So pretty much they got Mario syndrome.
Kind of, yeah. Except for like it's just, and of course like the
But
way,
worse.
and of course like the way it depicts some of the characters. Like everyone left Star Fox except because the time had passed, and Peppy became the general of Corneria because General Pepper became ill. Slippy has a girlfriend fiance named Amanda and stuff. And Falco, I don't know what happened to him. And Crystal disappeared after
Did you
Fox.
just call Falco a she?
I meant Crystal. I meant Crystal just disappeared off the planet, and Falco, I don't know what happened to him because I think he just joined a gang or something. I don't remember. And Crystal, she just disappeared off the face of the earth after Fox didn't want to marry her, and
Because I'm not ready yet to get into a serious relationship. There's so many things to think about.
and
What
Star
is
Wolf.
there to think about? It's a simple yes or no question.
And
Do
and
you love me?
and Star Wolf was in it too, and Star Wolf, and they were wanted felons and such, and yeah, it was cool that you got to use the stylus pen, start that, not that, like, no, got to use, it was cool you got to use Slippy, the characters like other characters to control us too, like Slippy Toad and Falco and all that stuff, but still, it's like, it's a strategy game, and you know how I feel about strategy games, so I don't like them, so, and the story, and the fact that Great Fox looks nothing like how it did in the other games, because it's just basically an escape capsule that they use in Seven Assault, which is now the Great Fox, but yeah, and,
Well, the Great Fox did get destroyed, kind of. So, in Assault.
I know, yeah, it's true, yeah, I forgot about that, but but it's also going to be if we can talk about Mario Kart DS, one of the best Mario Kart games ever made. Has a collection of courses from
That
Mario's. Go ahead.
question. If it's the best Mario Kart game ever
One of the
made,
best.
then why does it not have any Electrodome?
I take that back.
Electrodome's the best course
One of the
from
best.
Mario Kart 8.
One of the best ones. One of the best ones I meant to say. The best one is Double Dash, but I meant to say one. No, I'll wait for the princess here to stop singing. One of the best Mario Kart games I meant to say. The best one is Double Dash, but one of the best Mario Kart games. It has a collection of courses from Mario 64 and Double Dash and stuff, and it's basically one of the best ones there. And of course I had excuse me, Grid's All Chinatown Wars that I didn't really like that much, so moving on with that. But what else do you say about the DS before we move on to the PSP?
Hold on, I still got a couple games I want to talk about, especially since there's a few people from my channel who might be watching.
We may go
Would
over.
probably be upset if I didn't mention Princess Debut, a game that is really hard to find videos of on YouTube for whatever forsaken reason, which I'll hopefully in the near future make videos of more than what I already have.
Yeah, there was also Nintendogs, but I don't remember anything about Nintendogs, nor do I care about Nintendogs, so I'm not going to say anything about it.
Princess Debut is a good game, by the way. It is a dating sim, but it's a good game. And another one of my favorite games is Rhapsodia Musical Adventure. Yes, I have the DS version. I've never played the original version, but I am aware of the differences.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And there's a lot of games for the DS. Some of them being ports, like Disgaea DS being a port of the original. And there's also games that are divided in opinions that I like. One of them being Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. I do like that game. Lunar Dragon Song, it's a bit divided because of a mechanic where you have to choose items or experience. But I love this game a lot, so
yeah.
Beep anybody that doesn't.
Yeah, Rhapsody Musical Adventure, I had it for the PlayStation, didn't really care for it
There
that
was
much.
Phantasy Star Zero. At least I think that's supposed to be a zero because there's a line for the zero. So is that supposed to be a zero or a % sign?
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I forgot there's a game I forgot to mention there, by the way. Sorry,
I love this game.
I forgot to mention Metroid Prime Hunters, which actually was one of the coolest games on the DS. I can't believe I forgot about Metroid Prime Hunters. That game was badass and stuff. It was basically like
What about Sonic Rush? Have
I
you
already
played
mentioned that.
that one?
Remember, I already mentioned Sonic Rush at the beginning. Remember?
All right. Doi.
That's okay. It's okay.
Sonic Rush was a good game. I especially love the music track that plays when it's Sonic versus Blaze.
Mhm.
And I definitely like Blaze's development with her interacting with Cream the Rabbit.
I did not know about
Cream
that.
really softened Blaze up. They made such a good dynamic.
That's true.
And the game that got me into the Dragon Quest series was the ninth game, Sentinel of the Starry Sky. It was also the Brain Age, and I definitely loved the Pokemon Rangers games. Cannot forget about the Rangers games. I was so excited for the second one I couldn't wait that I ended up using an R4 to download it in Japanese and somehow beat it in a week
Really?
without knowing Japanese.
That's awesome. But yeah,
And I got a lot of games. Some of these I may end up showing on my own YouTube channel someday.
yeah. We're
Or
kind
even just stream on Twitch.
Well, go for it. I know we got the time restraint here and stuff that we already going over the hour mark, but still, I guess rules are meant to be broken sometimes in podcasts, so it's fine.
Hey, as long as we're having fun, as long as the people are having fun.
That's what mainly matters in the end, yes. And one cool.
And there was Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Not as good as the first two Golden Sun game, but well, it could have been better. It definitely could have been better. But
Yeah.
it's not the world's worst game.
Yeah, of
That
course.
can go to a different franchise that we do not speak about.
Which is what?
We do not speak about it.
Okay, we will not speak about it then. But we pretty much all we said about Nintendo. Yes. Do you have anything else to say before we move on?
Team Palkia for life.
Now we're going to talk about the PlayStation Portable, aka the PSP, which was the very first PlayStation Portable console. I remember like my brother saying the PlayStation's getting its own game book on the PSP, and I saw the ads for some of the games there, like had a Twisted Metal game on there, had a Metal Gear game, and Dynasty Warriors and a couple other things like that. I remember getting my parents getting me and my brother one for Easter. Yeah, I know we all for Easter, strange but true. But I remember like the games we had out for a time were Twisted Metal Head On, which is basically like a kind of like the real Twisted Metal 3 in my opinion. It was kind of like that they like Twisted Metal 2, but with better controls and better handling and all that stuff. And that was one of my go-to games for that. Definitely, I remember like having that and Ridge Racer. Oh man, Ridge Racer on the PSP was definitely one of the best looking games for its time. And Dynasty Warriors and their version of Spider-Man 2 was good, even though it was super short, like 2.5 hours long. And there was also Death Jr., who was considered the mascot at the time, one of the mascots at the time, even though the franchise was not well received. I didn't have a problem with Death Jr. And I'll be doing most of the talking there, 'cause I know Sadet is not owned a PSP, so I'll be doing most of the talking there. But Sadet, you want to chime in at all when I'm talking, go right ahead. But this was one of the first console. This was the first console that you can watch movies on it, because it had UMD discs where they had like movies and stuff for it, like Spider-Man 2 and like had the Family Guy movie on it and stuff like that. There was some movie UMD games on it, which I didn't. Spider-Man 2 came with the came with the system pack and stuff, like with all the consoles with the screenshots and everything. So that was different there. But it was interesting for its time because my brother used it when he and my mom went to Disney World for one of her meetings. I couldn't go because I had final exams to study for and stuff like that. And my dad had to do some stuff around the house. We were putting the house up for sale at the time because we were moving to a new house, so I had to help my dad with some stuff there. And so I just pretty much had to work on acing my finals and stuff, so I wouldn't fail any, which I did, and I ended up getting A's on all of them. So good that happened there. But like, like the PSP. I remember right now, I had to get two PSPs in order to get it work good to one that worked properly. There was a problem with the PSP where it had a pixel problem, where like it was setting off dead negative pixels, where everything was all checkerboardy and colors shiny looking stuff, where everything was all messed up looking. I didn't know this until Spider-Man 2, and I played Need for Speed Underground Rivals because like I started noticing that like the problem, and my brother told me about like there was a pixel problem, and we were showing it to my dad, and he thought it was fine because he didn't know anything about it. But then we told him what's going on, so I had to wait a while before getting a new PSP. So I used my brother's for the time being, and like it's just looking back at it, it wasn't worth fussing about. It was just me, a teenager wanting everything to be perfect and good condition stuff. That's what it was. But still, what can you do? And like I remember like there was also some other games I had in there too. Like I was mentioning Death Junior. They also had Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories and Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, like 3D Grand Theft Auto games on a portable console. That was actually very cool there. Like having Grand Theft Auto on the go. Hell yeah, I'm there. I'm there definitely. I don't know if you are, Seth, but I'm definitely there when it comes to Grand Theft Auto on the go. But
No.
but but the thing is, they had them
Oh,
on
I
the.
think I startled Peach with that no.
But the thing is,
Sorry, Peachy.
But here's the thing, Sadet. Those games came to the PS2 later on, so I just stuck with those. But I remember getting what else was there? Like there was Metal Gear
I'm sorry,
Acid.
that no wasn't that to you,
I don't
Peachy.
know if you're a Metal Gear fan, Sadet, but there was a game called Metal Gear Acid on the PSP, which was basically like a card-like based game where you had to move with like using type of cards, which is kind of
Nah,
awkward in my opinion. But it had dinosaurs on
I've
there.
never gotten into Metal Gear because I've never grew up with Metal Gear. So,
Understandable. Understandable. And of course, it also had Burnout Legends. It was an awesome it was kind of like Burnout Revenge like that. That was really cool. And I do remember playing what game did I play a lot of? Well, I played a lot of the Grand Theft Auto games on there. I played a lot of Death Junior and Death Junior Root of Evil. And I forgot to mention this, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, an expansion of Tekken 5 with three new characters in the Tekken Bowl mode, and had introduced one of my favorite characters in the game, Lily Emily de Roquefort from Lebanese or Lebanon or whatever. So the Lebanese character. And it had like also had Soul Calibur Broken Destiny, which was okay. Had a Gran Turismo game on there, and like just that like a lot of people didn't really like the PSP, but thought the PSP was actually pretty good. I actually found it better than the DS in certain areas because it was easier with the controls. But that analog stick was not very helpful. The analog stick was not really an analog stick; it was just basically a little circle that you just move around in certain directions and stuff. That wasn't really like an analog stick, like a loose analog stick. There, it was just that. But yeah, I mean, the PSP like also had a Rock Band game called Rock Band. I forget the name of the Rock Band game on there, but yeah, just saying. Yeah. But there's also a Battlefront, a Star Wars Battlefront game on there, and Star Wars Lethal Assault, I think it's called, where I forget where you play as a Twilly character. I forget the name of it at the moment. It kind of crosses my mind at the moment, so forgive me. I apologize there. But it had some Ratchet and Clank games on there, like Size Marriage and Secret and Clank, but they were spin-offs, and I was not a big fan of them, but still that was okay. But it had Twisted Metal, had Burnout Legends, and like that was awesome there. It
I
had
gotta
go,
ask you a favor.
what's up?
Wake me up when we get to the 3DS.
Well, wait, you're not leave? Are you leaving?
No,
Okay, well, I think
I'm just
I
saying that I don't really have anything to say on these games.
I understand, Sadet. I understand. I know, but what came out? I can't remember what came out afterwards. What came out first, the DS or the PS Vita? What came out first? I can't remember at the moment.
So, the Vita came out December 17th, 2011. And the 3DS came out February 2016, 2011. Same year, but completely opposite side of the month spectrum.
So PS Vita came out first, then you're saying, right?
No.
Oh, the 3DS did. Okay.
When
Then
did December come before
I couldn't remember the month. I
February?
couldn't remember the month. Sorry, I couldn't not remember the month. Okay, so now that I first talked about the PSP. Now, Dad, we'll talk about the 3DS. And I didn't own a 3DS. I
Yay!
played a little bit of it, and I'm right now. I was actually impressed in how powerful the 3DS was. To me, the 3DS was
It
like a portal.
was.
To be honest with you, in my opinion, the 3DS was a portable GameCube, in my opinion, because and how advanced it was. Had like Metal Gear Solid 3, 3DS on 3D on there, Snake Eater, and like had Resident Evil
And it
Revelations.
was also the mark of the revival of the Fire Emblem series.
It had Resident Evil
Fire Emblem
Revelations,
Fire Emblem Awakening was amazing.
and
3
it
could have used a little bit more polish.
it had Resident Evil Revelations on there. One of my favorite Resident Evil games that was not made by Shinji Mikami, and
Give me a second here.
and you get to play as Jill Valentine, my favorite for most of the game. My favorite Resident Evil character from Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis remake and such. So
Here goes
yeah, it
some
was
of
cool
my
to have her.
stuff.
It was cool to have her in there, and like it was just amazing, like how they
Here
also
we
had
go.
and like it just like it was amazing. Like that small cartridge was very powerful, and I didn't own a
Yeah.
3DS. I know my friends did, but like I can't really say much about it because I didn't really own it. But I played it though, and I'm impressed on how cool it looks and everything. But it did have
And
Luigi.
it
Had,
was the 3DS that got to me into the Monster Hunter franchise
I never
with
played.
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Yeah, like I never really played
God damn, that game's good.
I
I
never played.
feel like
Go ahead.
it's the best. Like, this is just my opinion, but I feel like 4 Ultimate's the best Monster Hunter game.
I can't say anything.
Especially with how the cutscenes were laid out.
I can't say anything because I never played a Monster Hunter game, so I can't say anything there. But I will say, like, I was impressed with Resident Evil Revelations, that like, how cool that game looked and stuff. I mean, and I'm being totally sincere when I say wow there, so that I'm just being sincere when I say wow. And I remember,
Oh, were you not expecting a cute, innocent girl like Moa into such a hardcore game like Monster Hunter?
no, no, but it did have it had Dead or Alive Dimensions on there, which was an interesting game because like it talked about like the storylines between Dead or Alive 1, 2, 3, and 4 and stuff. That was actually pretty interesting there to have those on the go. And just trying to think what other games I had. Like I said, I never played. I never owned a 3DS. I mean, say I played it I played it with some friends, but just yeah. I mean, I know they had like Smash Brothers and stuff that was on there. Like a Smash Bros. Game, I forget the name at the moment, which was actually more well received on the 3DS than it was on the Wii U. Things with the 3DS was actually selling a lot better than the Wii U was, in my opinion. And I heard that too. I heard that too that the 3DS was selling a lot better than the Wii U. I don't know if you
I
heard that.
actually have a funny story about one of the 3DS games as well, so...
Well, don't have much to say about it before we move on to the Vita and start that. And yes, we're trending on at about like an hour and like about an hour and 20 minutes, but still we'll be able to get this all wrapped up in
I'll
an hour
make
and a half.
this quickly with some of the games I have.
Go ahead.
Utopia got imported to Switch, so go get it. It's a good game. You'll have a lot of fun. Rune Factory 4, really good game, got ported to Switch, go get it.
And it also
Either with Final Fantasy Curtain Call, good game, not ported to Switch yet, though. I hope it does, though.
it also
Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. Got a funny story about this one. I wanted a copy of it, but I was $20 short, so I left the store, and there was $20 on the ground. It was like life was telling me to get this game. And I got it. And I loved it. Did not regret it. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. It's actually a decent game. Bit different from the previous Mystery Dungeon games, but the ending does switch up a little. And I cried.
It's okay. It's okay to cry.
Animal Crossing New Leaf. Good game.
Never,
But New Horizon has improved upon New Leaf, so I have Pokemon games as well. Team Lunala and Team Xerneas. Alpha Sapphire because I'm Team Kyogre. Legend, not Legend. Tales of the Abyss. Ports of the original. Good game. Go get it if you can. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Good game. Very comical.
The original Luigi's Mansion is
Little
on
bit
there as
shorter.
well.
It's a little bit shorter than the original game, but it's still a lot of fun.
The original is on
I
the...
really love the personality they gave the ghosts.
The original is on the...
Especially the Polterpup.
Yeah, and the original version on it's on the 3DS as well, so pick it up.
And finally, Detective Pikachu. Great game, and just as great movie adaptation.
I'll remember that, even though I'm not a big Pokemon fan and stuff not anymore, but still, just saying there, but I should, also admit that I had a little full analog stick you can use, which when you're playing the DS game on there, it's easier to control, like Mario 64 DS and such. I can't forget to mention that.
Oh, and I also have a fashion game, because I am a little girly sometimes.
It's okay, Sadet. It's okay. Nothing to worry about.
But I also have bought in some games on the eShop. I can only remember a couple of them at the moment, though. One of the two is Stella Glow, a unique game that you can physically buy. Make sure you get it. And despite the Fire Emblem-esque mechanic with a different turn order type, I love the vocal songs in the game. I actually, on my channel, even though my voice was not at the best quality when I made the video, so I do apologize about that. Might have to remake that video someday. But I have a top 5 favorite witch song from the game. And it's their first song, not their second, and not both combined, because I was looking at their first song since I only had access to their first songs
That's understandable.
in the game.
Yeah.
So, pretty much, if you want to see how I ranked them, go check out that video. And the other game is one of my favorites that I am very excited for. That's getting a third mainstream game. Azure Striker Gunvolt. It is one of my favorite games. It's a bit Mega Man-esque, but it's unique. The sprite styles look like an approved version of the Zero and ZX series sprite styles. The vocal songs by Lumen, who is also known as Morpho in Japanese. She is just a beautiful singer. I love her voice. Morpho for life. And the story's just, well, at times the translations can be a bit iffy. It's a beautiful story.
I sounds like it, yeah, and I believe you there,
It
definitely.
also got in the first section of the game, an animated adaptation, an OVA. It's only one episode, but it's still a good OVA that clears up some things that the game failed to do.
Never realized that. But, what did I say here now? But,
And I'll let you guys know right now, the Azure Striker Gunvolt 1 and 2, as well as Copen's spin-off game, Azure Gunvolt Chronicle Avenger X. You can get all of those games on Steam right now. If you don't have Steam for whatever reason, you can get it on the PS4 or you can get it on the Switch. Though I have to let you know, the Switch version, for some reason, made an odd change with one of the collectibles locations.
oh, okay.
A really odd change, and it's such a very specific change. Why is it that specific?
Good question. Why, indeed. But
It was a very specific, unnecessary, and it's only just that one collectible that got in a location change. Well, the other versions have where it's originally supposed to be.
nice.
What was the company thinking?
You wanna know? So do I. But
But we'll never know.
right. But do you got anything else to say with the 3DS before we move on to the Vita?
The 3DS is where the Harvest Moon game started to decline due to the two companies that owned it separating.
Makes sense. But I
So one company owned the name, the other company owned the actual game. So one company did their own thing with the main games. Well, did their own thing with the name. Well, the other company changed the name to Story of Seasons.
yeah. But like for me like both of us have never owned the PS Vita. So this is gonna be kind of short here. But I have played it but I never owned it. So I'll just say it's
I
like
have heard of a few games on the PS Vita, and one of those games I do own because it was on both the PS Vita and PS4,
which was what?
being Digimon Cyber Sleuth,
I should have known it was
which
a
is a
Digimon.
great game.
I should have known it was
And it
Digimon.
does have cross-compatibility save.
Yeah, I should have known it was Digimon. 'Cause I know you're a big Digimon Pokemon fan. So I just had a guess here. My burger senses were sensing that. Yeah,
Don't you mean your burger sense was tingling?
yeah, my burger sense was tingling. Yes, and like I'm right now.
Get your references right.
Yes, Your Majesty. Yes, Princess. Sadet the inspirational princess for you all. The hyperactive princess as well, and yeah. Yep.
My cat, right after I did that laugh, looked at me like I was a weirdo.
Well, okay, Dexter and Peach.
No, it
Yeah.
was Peach.
Oh, Dexter
It
and
was
well,
Peach that looked at me.
Well, Peach. Yeah. Go ahead, laugh.
Dexter, he's in a position that he can't look at me.
Okay, Peach. Yeah.
He is
laugh.
like behind the bed.
Well, like the PS Vita, like I said, I never owned it, but I played it. I know it had games like Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is basically a prequel to the original Uncharted. But like, I mean, I did play them at a friend's house, but I don't know. I mean, this is around the time when I was kind of done with portable gaming, so this may sound a little biased here, but I couldn't really get into the PS Vita. I mean, it had Hatsune Miku on it, which was how I first learned about Hatsune Miku and stuff like that as well, which, yeah. But like, just, I don't know. I mean, if you like, the system was mainly for JRPGs. I mean, liking JRPGs, I was there somewhat because I liked JRPGs. Like it had Neptunia Marker, it had Neptunia Rebirth and Rebirth 2 and stuff on Rebirth 3 on there, which were somewhat
It was a
remakes.
shame that the console, I'm not sure if it was that handheld console or if it was the PSP, but one of them was a bit of a flop.
It was the Vita that was a flop actually because like the games and how much the memory sticks cost and stuff. It just like could have been a whole lot. It could have been better. So I never owned a PS Vita, so I can't say it there. I mean, it looked cool. I mean, playing it at a friend's house is cool, but playing it on your own, owning it, you're not really gonna want to play it much. I mean, it was better than the PSP Go, which was a total flop. It didn't even have any game
There was a
crashes.
PSP Go?
Oh yeah, you know
That must have flopped so bad to the point nobody knows it.
Here's the thing, Sidet. That game did not require any cartridge. You just had to like get like little cards with codes to play the game digitally and stuff. And nobody was didn't want to waste money on that and stuff. That's what is the thing. So that's what happened there. But from
That sounded like a bad idea from the start.
I think one of the good things about the PS Vita is that their version of Atelier Aisha has the Japanese voice acting, while the PS3 version does not. Which I plan
Oh,
on. I
by
plan
the
on.
way,
What?
I gotta tell you something.
What?
I was doing a little research, And there was an Atelier game on the DS in English.
I think I heard about that, yeah. But I don't
Yep.
know which one it was, though.
Annie.
Oh, Until You're Annie? Okay.
Hmm.
But yeah, like, PS Vita, it was innovative with the graphics and stuff like that. Of course, it had Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus on there, and it had had some Borderlands games like that. It was like playing a miniature PS3 on the go at the time. But I was kind of done with portable gaming. It did have some bad games like Ridge Racer for the PlayStation Vita, which only had four cars and which only had like four tracks and like one or two cars like that. And that was it. Basically spending full price on a game that has very light content on it and such. So yeah, but what can you do? There's basically not really. I know it doesn't sell this,
There's
but
not very much to talk about
yeah, the
with the
Vita was
Vita,
just
sadly.
yeah, the Vita was just.
The Vita exists. That's all we could really say.
And this is coming from someone who doesn't play portable games. I know I sound kind of biased there, but that's just me, though. It's just me. But, do you have anything else to say before we wrap up here?
Hmm. Anybody that says Kyogre is worst legendary, they can go suck a beep.
Your sensor alarm is going off again, Sadet. Be careful.
Beep, beep, beep.
Sorry, Sadet.
I need to fix that.
Yeah, you need to fix it, alright. But I don't have anything really else to say. But, was the first podcast me and the Sadet the Hyperactive Princess have done on our own here. I mean, like I just said, and for a co-host, as me and Giuseppe ourselves, Sadet did a great job here at this. As being the co-host here and stuff. So let's give it up for Sadet the Hyperactive Princess. She did a good job here, definitely. And yes, and yep.
You cannot see it, but I'm doing the victory pose.
No, I can't see it at all.
Why am I doing the victory pose when nobody can see it?
You're just trying to have fun, it's all. Sadet is the thing. But
It's true.
That's pretty much all we gotta say for this episode. More episodes are coming along the way. And there's so many gaming topics to talk about that this could be a huge series. And this will be a huge series coming out. This could be like 100 episodes, maybe even more than 100 episodes. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to
Especially considering what you think of the future of gaming as a whole.
Oh yes, definitely.
But
That's a new story
I
for
think maybe next time the episode might be shorter because we'll probably talk about app games. Does
Yes.
that sound good?
Good with me. Good to keep them running. We'll talk about app games like that, which I don't know much about, but heck, we'll keep it rolling there. And after that, we could probably talk about like the current console stuff if we want to as well. But that's pretty much all we got to say for this episode. Check out a new episode of Burgers and a TTBurger, Burgers and Fries Games Up with a Shake every Saturday on TTBurger 88. And don't forget to check out episode of TTBurger Game Reviews every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or if I switch up Monday, Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or just Monday, Wednesday,
A
Saturday.
little bit of unpredictability never hurts.
Yep. And Racing Month is still going on here, so we have more racing games going on the channel. So if you like racing games, hey, feel free to check them out.
Do you think you'll review Sonic R because everybody's supersonic racing?
I wish I did, but I don't have the game. I wish I did, but I don't have the game. I don't have the game at all.
You're throwing me off now.
I know. But that's pretty much all we gotta say. That's really all we gotta say. This is Tony, and Sadet the Hyperactive Princess. Peace and out, and have a great day, and stay tuned. More content is coming.
Happy gaming!
Happy gaming, everybody!
That's all I gotta say.
Voice.
You'll find out later. That's all I gotta say. Take care, everybody.